Tim came to me and he defined a problem. The problem that he defined is he wanted to capture shock, he wanted to capture temperature, and so that he could create a warning mechanism for a particular player who had been exposed to those types of hits. And he wanted to do it quickly, and we wanted to do it under the guise of all the approval and so forth. And so our task was to rapidly prototype this and then be in a position to leverage that activity and put it into play as fast as possible. One of the first items that happens when someone has a brainstem injury is they lose their balance. And so Tim came up with a baseline test that they go through a series of yoga poses, and then based on that you can determine whether a person has had an injury, and based on the tilt mechanism inside of these gyros and accelerometers, we actually kind of can determine whether or not a person has deviated from what their baseline test is and whether or not they've actually been in a position of recurring kind of brain injuries and whether or not they're well enough to participate.
The device isn't going to tell you have a concussion, but it's going to tell you where you've been previously when you're okay, and all of a sudden if you can't balance or if you can't do certain things, this electronic device is going to tell you otherwise, that hey, you know, for the last 4 events before you went out there, you fell between these 2 parameters, and all of a sudden you're outside those parameters. What has changed? So did you hurt yourself? Did you fall and hit your head? Or did you sprain an ankle? You know, why is it that you can't balance correctly?
They're only now starting to realize that it's the progressiveness. It's not just the one-time hit that you take, it's all of the hits that you take. And so what our product is geared toward is creating that data, creating histograms for all of that, so that whenever it comes to place, that a parent or guardian say, you know, I can see now that we've gone from a stoplight data that we might be in a yellow zone. I'm just going to make the decision that I don't want to do this right now. Or if we've gone past that yellow zone, we're into a red zone where they've taken a 70G hit for a high school kid or something, immediately that they know that we're not saying you've been concussed, because nobody can say that with data right now. But what we're saying is you have been exposed. Get the proper help to make a determination of whether you have got that, and err on the side of safety. And that's Tim's agenda.
A lot of times these things are not seen. It's the educational purposes, but now you have hard data that's going to go behind this, and that's where you know, a coach at a higher elite level, you know, might want to have his player or his son, sometimes it's the case, and you know, when the coach says, hey, why did you pull my son out, or you know, if a parent comes over and says, why did you pull my son out, you know, well, here, he just took 80 G's of hit, and you know what, I think at this point we need to at least sit him down, at least go through a baseline testing, recertify him, make sure he's okay. But a lot of these kids and parents just don't understand what concussions are.